Please remain calm. There is no need for alarm. This space is now being taken over by Hillbilly Broadcast.
First of all, I've been wanting to test this out. Again, this is only visible inside of the Fraternal Order of Hillbilly Broadcast group, although I am recording it as well because I have another reason I wanted to do this. In the past, when I'm monkeying around with live streams and such, had some issues with audio quality, so I don't know if you're watching live right now. I have no idea how it sounds. If it sounds worth anything, I guess I'll review it after I'm done. Also, if you're watching live, you'll be able to listen to this short podcast episode that we'll release later on, and you'll be able to hear the difference between unedited and then cleaned up. There's a lot of post-production editing that goes into this stuff. A lot of my pauses, like I just did there, a lot of my stumbling over my words, that stuff all comes out. Somebody asked, too, for a live Q&A. I had a couple people mention that, which I think is a pretty cool idea. Anyways, we had on, I think the last episode that's been released right now, so I have 2 in the can right now to release. One, by the way, is an interview with Yvonne Dodrell. It was fantastic. She did a great job, and I'm really looking forward to getting that one out. But one of our latest ones was with Jason Baker. Jason also did a fantastic job. I really liked how he showed a balanced approach, which that's what I believe in. I just am not always that great at portraying that on the podcast. So I really like how Jason was saying, hey, look, yes, legalism's crazy. Parts of the CHM are crazy. But there's also a ditch on the other side of the road that you can fall into. So I really like how he did that. I think he did a fantastic job and said some stuff that I really agree with. But one thing that he did say that blew my mind was that some CHM schools are starting to get into athletics. I think that's the first time I'd ever heard that. Did not think that was a thing. And one of them that he mentioned, he said that UBC had a girls volleyball team, I think it was. And after the episode come out, Jason sent me a text, and I'll just read what he said. He said, I was wrong about UBC having a volleyball team. I was informed there is no association. He said, would you be able to mention that on a near future episode? And I told him I could. A lot of times, though, from the time that we record something to the time that it releases can be anything from a couple days to lately it's been weeks, depending on how many we've got already recorded. And sometimes if I do another episode and I'm like, this one's a little more timely, based off of current events or something. Okay, we need to put this one out first. And while I was doing the episode with Yvonne Dodrell last night, I completely forgot to bring it up. So I thought, okay, let's kill 2 birds with one stone. Let's test out live streaming, just see how it sounds. And then let's issue the correction that UBC does not have an organized volleyball team. Just throwing that out there. A lot of people might not think that's a big deal, but I think if you're CHM, that would be a big deal if somebody was going around saying that you had a girls volleyball team and you didn't. So, again, there you go, Jason. If you're watching this, you're seeing the comments the way they come up. Apparently, StreamYard, which is one that I'm monkeying around with now, Facebook, when you're going live inside of a group, Facebook does not allow StreamYard to see the names of commenters. So that's why you're seeing it look like this. They practice in a gym. You're saying UBC does? And are we just talking recreational, or are we talking practicing for actual organized team? That is very interesting. Now, what is, again, you guys are hearing stuff. This will be edited together to sound smoother. What is an NPHC? Enlighten me on that. Oh, I see. Noblesville. Very interesting. People around here are very surprised, like when I'm at work, and I tell people that I just attended my first WVU football game this year. The strange looks I get, and then I have to go into the long story of telling them that, okay, I was raised in a cult, and organized sports was of the devil. And then I do get some strange looks. Very expensive new gym and family life center. Family life center. Boy, that's a term I'm seeing thrown around a lot. I seen there was let's just leave it unnamed for the moment. A church was raising money for a family life center, and it was in the millions that they're asking for, CHM Church. And as they were describing it, they're like, this is a place where families can come and like play board games. And I'm like, how many $1 million for a space to play board games? You know, maybe I'm missing something. I probably am, but I don't know. I think I could find a lot cheaper place to play board games. So they can have a boys basketball team, but not a girls volleyball team. Is this the academy or college we're talking? Again, Jason is issuing the correct, and again, I can't see y'all's names if you're commenting here, but he's saying that he had wrong information, that they didn't have an organized volleyball team. GBS High School has organized volleyball and basketball, at least they did in 2008. So, question, if they have a high school organized volleyball and basketball team, okay, specifically volleyball, what's the uniforms? Is it girls volleyball? Because traditionally that's what high school volleyball is. I'm very interested. UBC does not officially have any teams. This is all sponsored by a family from the Noblesville Church. Okay, I see. So just for recreation. I'm still very interested in those uniforms, though. GBS High School volleyball team requires the girls to wear long skirts as part of the uniforms. Huh. I'll send you a picture of the uniforms. I cannot wait. I've got to see this. I have got to see this. Long skirts. What about the basketball team? Is this boys and girls basketball or just boys? Are we slacks and dress shoes, or what are we wearing there? What? GBS requires visiting volleyball teams to wear long skirts and visiting basketball teams to wear long... Are you serious? To wear long pants. I have so many questions. The questions... Actually, I'm getting more questions as this goes along. So again, and if you're listening on the recorded episode, I'm talking with some commenters here. We're talking sanctioned high school sports, correct? And according to this comment, that visiting teams are required, volleyball teams required to wear long skirts, and visiting basketball teams are required to wear long pants. It goes on here. With leggings, the boys have to wear long sleeve white shirts, or even they're allowed to wear short sleeve, sometimes, and athletic pants. So they're wearing the long skirts with leggings. I thought I'd seen it all. So I'm just wondering, how do you just get some random high school to agree to this? Beech Grove used to require visiting mothers that attended in slacks to go into their closet and grab a skirt to wear while they were visiting and sitting in the bleachers. Wow. As I talk to more and more people about CHM, it makes you realize just how skin deep so much of that is. I was actually sitting and talking to my pastor tonight for probably about an hour and a half. And my pastor, he grew up in the Nazarene church, so he got a little taste of some legalism, but still yet was unaware of a lot of the stuff that my family come out of. And it's just, when you're sitting and talking about it, especially if you're trying to explain it to somebody that has no idea what the CHM is, then it really hits you just how crazy all this crap was. And continues to be. In 2008, the girls had skirts with shorts under them. GBS. I think they were made that way. I blocked more out than I realized. School would often be dismissed when there was a tournament because all of the students would be going to the upper classes. Elementary would still meet. I just remember, oh my Lord, sports was preached so hard against here around West Virginia. It was, you didn't follow them. I remember, and I've probably told this 1,000 times, but I think it was Paul Dragoo came for revival at West Hill Church one time. And I remember he was the one that preached against wearing shirts that said Mountaineers on the front of them, because that was endorsing sports, and again, sports are of the devil. Oh no. These comments, I love these comments. One time they stopped an intramural game because one of the guys had a short sleeve shirt. He either had to leave or change the shirt. At least we can entertain our therapists with these stories. Isn't that the truth? Yeah. I mean, when you try to explain it to somebody else, you just see their eyes like glaze over. You don't realize how crazy it is until you're out, I guess, or when you're trying to explain it to somebody that was never in. Also take the WV head off. Okay, even though I can't see the names who's commenting, I can probably guess who that is. It's just probably the same guy that had was around for when they were filming We Are Marshall. By the way, speaking of Marshall, they're playing Ohio State next year. We all know how that's going to go. However, still going to be fun to watch. Okay, so you guys have really informed me of some stuff I had no idea about. Didn't know that sports was being embraced like that. Oh, the slippery slope, which is something else. A lot of times CHM people like to talk about not changing and how they have not changed, and that's not the case at all. Again, sports used to be completely off the table. I bet you could go to, again, a theory, but I bet you could go to IHC and carry on an intelligent conversation about college football with a decent amount of the guys there. Yeah, I think they would follow it that much. All right. Again, issuing the correction that Jason asked me to issue. He was informed UBC does not have a formal high school volleyball team. So I want to put that out there. Told him I'd put it out. And also wanted to test out the live stream. I have no idea how it's sounding right now on y'all's end, but I will check it out after the fact. And we'll see how she sounds. I have no idea how to handle live stream. Wait, what do we got here? Depends on which part of the country. Those Indiana boys are more into basketball and baseball. Okay, I can see that. Oh, gosh. Dorm room next to mine. Hooked up a projector and watched the Super Bowl. Oh, boy. How many times did we have to hear the illustrations when Super Bowl Sunday would roll around about some church that would play the Super Bowl right in the congregation? I've not come across this church, but I heard about it a lot. And also, you notice how a lot of people, I was just talking to my mom about this the other day. A lot of people, they will take a picture of fill in the blank football stadium, and it's full. And then they will take a picture of the inside of some random church out in the middle of nowhere, and they will say, you see who people worship the most. It's like, it's not a fair comparison. Okay, a lot of people like sports. It's not their, I've met plenty of people who like sports and do not worship it. Worship is kind of, it's a bit of an intentional act. You can tell what matters to people the most. All right. Or it's just entertainment and we can just leave it at that. You guys are saying it sounds great. That's awesome. Back in the days of Peyton Manning, I had never met so many holiness people from Indiana that were against TVs that knew everything about Colts games. Peyton Manning does look a little bit like a holiness preacher, though, when he's in a suit, so maybe that's why. You always sound sexy. Thank you very much. I agree. The picture of the Buffalo Bills fan sitting out in the middle of a snowstorm and saying, I wish people felt this way about attending church. I think I did see that one as well. Let me think about that. Trying to think if I'm changing my mind on this or not. So yeah, people will sit, absolutely. They'll sit through inclement weather to watch sports. I get that. Still analyzing here. By the way, you've got to start planning your trip to Gatlinburg in April so you can do a live stream from the Moonshine Store. This is LaDonna, since you can't see the names of posters. I figured when you mentioned Gatlinburg, I figured that was you, LaDonna. Was you trying to tempt us into Old Smoky? Wonder how many IHC people we'd bump into in Old Smoky. You still got me thinking about this sports thing. I do think that sports does get, it gets an awful lot of attention. Okay, so there's a huge emphasis put on it, and a lot of times different athletes are kind of lauded as heroes. I don't think that being good at athletics makes you a good candidate to be a hero. But, also it's entertainment. You could say the same thing about a crowd at a George Strait concert. It's entertainment. People, you get a chance to go, you go. I'm still, again, this will be so edited. You still got me thinking. I'm sure there's something there. And I got to think that one through. All right. I think that's going to do it. I'll figure out how to get this edited, get this posted so that we can get the correction out there. Again, I do like to be careful that we put out accurate information, and apparently this is one we had to do a correction on. All right, guys. We'll see you next time around.